Hello, welcome back to the Corp podcast. I'm your host Tristan, joined by my co-host
Jordan.
Jordan.
Welcome back.
Yeah, Ed. We accidentally missed an episode, admittedly. So this is gonna be two episodes in one. So if you want to start, so basically I'm going to remind the viewer of the whole idea of this podcast is to watch the episode of The Mandalorian, and then watch this podcast. Right now, we're gonna go over episode 2. I'm sure that if you're watching this podcast, you've probably already seen it by now, but we're gonna go over episode 2 right now, and after we go over episode 2, we're gonna go over episode 3. Now, episode 2 was
not good.
Not good. We got another. It was horrible.
Well, maybe
it was.
That's why we didn't do it, because we didn't like it at all.
No. What happened was Jordan, was that we were done watching it. We were like, okay, you know what? We'll record it tomorrow. It's no problem. We're all gonna hang out tomorrow. And then the next day, we all went to B-Dubs and we all went to Checkers and we went all over the place with good old Nico and Alden.
Right.
And then by the time we got back to your house and we watched the movie, it was already like 1 a.m. into Sunday, so it was already way past its time to be put out. So that was its own issue. Either way, what's that, Jordan?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I didn't
Anyway.
mean for that to happen.
Anyway, so episode 2, we got. My first complaint about episode 2 was the giant ant, because I felt like they just took that prop. They just, we have this giant ant lying around.
I know.
Let's put that in there. Like,
Yeah,
what?
and then when she called him like arachnid, or not arachnid, arachnids are spiders.
Yeah,
When he
she
called
said
him
that it was like,
arthropod, she
yeah,
said
that.
arthropod, and I'm like, yeah, dude, that's a freaking ant. But Tristan, we didn't know this, but that's actually an Easter egg. The guy who I think directed episode 2 also directed Ant-Man, the Ant-Man films. So that was a Easter egg for the guy who did Ant-Man.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. It's pretty okay as long as it's Easter egg. It makes sense. But if it's just
but it was
some new species.
It was
not
weird.
solid. That's not what they did though. So it was just like an Easter egg. So I'm okay with that.
I don't know. Either way, a lot of people said, I don't know, because yes, it's an Easter egg, but at the same time, they kind of still put it as like, I don't know. I didn't like it. That's it. I just didn't
like it.
I didn't like it.
How about the frog, dude?
The frog lady. I guess like later on, I kind of like. I wish they didn't call it a frog. I wish they called it something else.
They literally said it on subtitles. Frog lady.
Yeah, I was in subtitles. Yeah, exactly. It was it was meme worthy. Don't get me wrong, but I just
missed
don't.
The memes. I didn't see any of them yet.
I just don't like them being now the actual puppet or whatever they use for the frog, not half bad, I would say.
Well,
but the fact that they were calling it. Sorry?
All of episode 4, 5, and 6 were puppets, so they had to...
Well, yeah. No, I'm not... No. I'm not sitting here saying, puppets are bad. I'm just saying that particular, model of a puppet wasn't bad. What I'm saying is if they took, an actual, something that looked more like a frog, then I'd have a problem with it. But, the way that the model was, I was fine with it. You get what I'm saying? It was more.
I get what you're saying.
They could pass it as its own alien species that's relative to a frog, but I don't like how it was just called Frog Lady and speaks frog,
right,
and all that stuff. I didn't like that.
Screeches.
And yeah, exactly. So that's my only complaint about her.
It even shot its tongue out to grab its clothes when it was in the hot springs like a frog.
Jeez. Yeah, I didn't catch that, to be honest. And then, how did she not catch all the eggs?
Wait, what do you mean?
Remember she was in the hot springs, and then they looked over, like literally like 10 feet from them, and there was a whole army of eggs.
Oh yeah,
The spider
maybe
eggs.
She didn't know they were eggs. I didn't know, dude. When the child
Oh,
the spider out of the egg, and he ate it. What the frick?
I was like, what's going on? What is that?
Remember that video I sent you? It was
Yeah.
a video of when they were on the ship and one of the spiders got on his head. He's like, "Yo, get this crap off of me!"
Yeah.
And then the frog lady staring at him. I was like, "Yeah."
Oh man.
Oh, that spider apparently was in Rebels. Of course, we haven't seen Rebels 100% yet. We're still in the process, but apparently it's in Rebels. So.
Yeah, honestly, the spider didn't look all too bad. Not gonna lie.
It didn't look bad. It reminded me of that one scene from Harry Potter. Stuff creeped me out though. I wanted to burn the whole planet down, but you know.
The my favorite part of the episode was like the one that I called once, and they said, "Hey, switch over to channel 2." When those two X-wings were like next to him. Yeah, and then he said, "Hey, can you switch over to channel 2 real quick?" And I was like, "Look, just watch. They're gonna go into attack mode." And then like the next frame, it was just.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh no!" I already knew. Yeah.
To attack position.
That was a good shot.
X-wings are always fun.
Yeah, but they were kind of like, they're like, "Yeah, we should arrest you," but you know. Like at the end, he was like, "We should arrest you, but you know these are trying times, and you know you're not all bad."
Also trying times. You think I could get away with this?
No, he was sitting there. He was like, "Man, like I understand you did all these crimes, and you did all this good to like you know contradict that you're like you know you're not a bad person, but you're still gonna freeze to death."
They thought he was
They were like
with the Empire.
Yeah,
you know.
Which is understandable, but at the same time, you know, once they were like, "Yeah, we're not going to arrest you," and he's like, "Okay, can you help me out?" And they're like, "Nah, you're good.
No,
help yourself." And it's like, dude, he's gonna freeze to death. This is like Hoth.
Yeah,
come on, bro. Yeah, like for real, or at least give the frog lady a ride. You know.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I remember H-wings. Well, I think H-wings were in Hoth. Either they're A-wings or H-wings. I can't remember.
They're probably thinking A-wings.
Probably A-wings. Those are
oh wait,
two-seaters.
are you talking snow speeders?
No, those aren't snow speeders.
Are you talking about the ones at Hoth?
I'm talking about the ones on Hoth. I looked them up. I think it said they were H or A wings. I can't remember.
They're people usually refer to them as snow speeders.
Okay, well,
you're talking about the one.
Lucas.
Well, no, you're talking about the ones they use to take down the AT-ATs, right? With the cable gun. Yeah, people usually call them snow speeders, but they probably have a technical name. Maybe I know it's not an A wing because I know what an A wing is, and it's not that.
Well, then what's an A wing?
It's a Republican bomber.
Oh,
I think the Rebels used it too. Not gonna lie, but I do know it was a Republican bomber.
Those are Y wings.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. But yeah, the Republican, the A wings were the Republican bombers, like the ones that they use, the clones use basically.
Right. Yeah, because I like to the X wings when they're open up for attack position, it looks like an X, and then
Y wing looks like a Y.
Yeah, they're this. Yeah, well, in a sense, kind of. It's hard to if you like turn it a certain way.
yeah, you have to turn it a certain way.
If you look at it when the moon's shining on it at this angle,
and squint your eyes.
I don't think I had a favorite part for the movie.
Do you mean the episode?
Yeah.
No, man, I do that all the time. I do that all the time, man.
For the episode 2, Passenger, dude, I thought we were gonna see more Boba Fett. I
I
swear
thought we
to
were
you,
too.
if that is the only cameo that he has, because they confirmed that he was
Oh,
gonna be in it, and they said that Bo-Katan was also gonna be in it, and Ahsoka was gonna be in it, and I'm like thinking
dude.
if that's the only thing that they're gonna give us, then I might as well go die. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
if we don't see more Boba Fett in this season or at all, I'm gonna be highly disappointed. We should be able to see him though, because like the Slave One's got to still be like running. You know what I mean? It's got to be like somewhere.
Someone had a good theory. Of course, I see spoilers and crap all over Instagram, but like I try to dodge those. But then I see stuff about like references and crap. That's where I found that reference for the Ant-Man director. Um, that Easter egg. That for episode 1, they said that he had he had the same weapons and the same club as what the Sand people were. Why did I just call them? What are they called again? Jesus,
Tusken
I'm
Raiders.
I'm a brain fart. Yeah, the Tusken Raiders. What they use the same weapons that they use on his back, and he was dressed in their apparel. So someone was saying that there's a good possibility that he could have been right next to Boba Fett, watching him destroy that worm, like all along. That he could have been right next to him all along.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a pretty good theory. Like, that's a good possibility, you know. But I really hope that we see more of him because that would make my day. But are we all done with episode 2? Because I want to get more down to episode.
Oh
3,
yeah, yeah.
because
We
episode 3
spent
was great.
we spent a total of like 12 minutes on episode 2. So let's get right to episode 3, the meat and potatoes, the good episode, because episode 2 was basically like the second, what was it? The second arc to season 7 of Clone Wars. No one liked it. But yeah.
Yeah,
And
you did say that actually.
yeah, I remember. I remember it wasn't an unpopular opinion. I remember when we were going through it and we were being judgmental about it, and I was thinking like, oh, maybe other people will actually like this. And I remember I was looking at other reviews. No one liked that arc. No one did. It was disgusting.
Why did they put that? Yeah. Instead of the Boba Fett versus Cad Bane arc, dude, we got that. Like, they literally could have added that in, and we got that. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, but I mean, like, that would have to do with anything with the. Well, then again, the Bad Batch didn't have to do anything with the end game. So, yeah, never mind. We still
Right.
should have gotten. I mean, it was good to see where Ahsoka was and all that. After the Jedi Temple, but at the same time, the story was just disgusting. But anyway, moving on back to the current season of
Yeah,
Canon
let's
Corp.
not go back to season 7. That's all done. And
Yeah.
as beautiful as it is, I don't want to get back into it.
Yeah.
Gotta leave it in mint condition.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we also have a whole podcast about that. That's basically season 1 of this podcast.
That was our season 1, yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty good. Our bonus episode was also pretty solid. We went over all season 1 of The Mandalorian. I know I mentioned this last podcast, but it was actually really good. It was like 2 hours long, but it's worth the watch. Anyway, so back to let's get started on episode 3. Episode 3 of The Mandalorian.
We didn't even remember we didn't even notice what the name of it was. Episode 2 was The Passenger, but
I still don't know what the name of it was. Can you check that real quick?
Yeah, give me talk about the episode while I look it up.
Right. So anyway, the episode, we start off. They're going to that planet. He pulls some real. I don't know. He couldn't land properly. He didn't have like enough fuel or whatever, so he like stopped his fuel and just let it free fall into the surface, and he almost landed it, and then one of his engines failed last second, and it just flipped him into the freaking water. And I was like, I don't know how they got that out of the water in the first place. Not gonna lie, but either way, he landed. The Razor Crest was not seeing good days. at all.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
Yeah, and he delivered his passenger to where they're supposed to go. And he found that, you know, this one person knew where to find the Mandalorians. And he said, oh, it's just going to be like...
It was her partner.
Yeah.
Or mate.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the calamari. I think they're called calamarians, aren't they? Something like
You're
that.
talking about the frog?
No, the tentacle people.
Oh, yeah. Look, I never trusted them in the Clone Wars, and I still don't trust them now because...
Which you shouldn't, because, you know, they went and tried to kill Mando, and they almost had him for a second until the Mandalorians showed up and, you know, messed everything up. And then once you were like, dude, look at their armor, and I was looking, I'm like, oh, I know who they are. I know exactly who they are. And there was like one shot where there was one shot where you saw like Bo-Katan's like helmet, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who that is. It was great. I was surprised. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I just wanted to throw it in. The episode name was The Heiress, which obviously is Bo-Katan.
Yeah. And we also did learn something interesting about Mando that I didn't take into accounting. Was that once they had that interaction, like after the fight and everything, and they took off their helmets, he was like, okay,
he was like appalled.
Yeah, he was like, dude, you're not Mandalorian at all. And they're like, what do you mean? He was like, you're not Mandalorian. You would never take off your helmet. And then she was like, oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, she put him down. Like, I think she's obviously older than him.
Yeah. By a lot.
She was like, well, yeah. She was like, I've been a Mandalorian for 3 generations, or my family has been Mandalorian for 3 generations. And then she said that you are with the Watchers.
Child of the Watch, which was Death Watch from So the Death Watch. If you guys don't remember, we saw them from the Clone Wars, and they were religious zealots who were really into the religion of Mandalore, and they were all for they were not at all for peace. Once in the Duchess of Mandalore tried to be pacifistic, they saw that as really, really sacrilegious and radical, and weakness too. And in radical ways, they fought against that, which ended up with a lot of people dead, a lot of people, them being getting involved with Sith Lords like Maul and Savage, and a bunch of crap happened. But either way, the Watch or the Death Watch or whatever were a bunch of religious zealots that didn't follow the government of Mandalore, only its religion.
Weird thing is that he didn't even know that he was a part of said
cult. He just thought that he was
cult.
He just thought he was just Mandalorian. He didn't know that there was other Mandalorians out there that had a certain point of view on things.
Right, because he was the founding.
Yeah,
he only knew what they told him.
Exactly. Which isn't all too bad, but at the same time, you
gotta know your stuff.
He still has a sense of honor. He's not a bad person. He's just he just follows a more religiously strict form of the religion, basically. So it was very interesting to learn that, number one, that there is a definite difference between the two, and two is my whole train of thought just killed itself. Anyway, so we learned that this girl is Bo-Katan. I'm not sure if I remember you said that you couldn't tell if she was a good one or not, and I can't really tell.
I couldn't tell. Yeah, I can't tell if she's a good Bo-Katan because I don't 100% remember Bo-Katan just being her instead of being like the badass that she is when she's in fights.
Right.
Just having a normal conversation, I can't put my thumb on it if she's like, if that's something that she would have said in the show, or basically stuff like that. I can't tell. She looks like her though, which is
Oh
pretty
yeah,
solid.
definitely.
Obviously an older version, because
way older.
From season 7 till now, what is that? That's episode
like
3 of Star Wars, so that's like what? Maybe
there was
25 years.
Maybe a little more.
25 years. I would say maybe 25 years, because Luke was what? From
he was 19.
Darth Vader turned.
He was 19 during episode 4, so you could see.
Yeah, I'm not talking about in real life. I'm talking about like in the actual movie.
No, in real life he was 17, but in the movie he was like 19 or 20. So between episode 3 and 4 there was about like 20 years, but I don't know how many years span from episode 4 to 6.
I think there was only maybe like 5 or 6, because the Empire was still going, and it sounds to me like they had just lost the war. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm probably gonna put my money on like 5 or 6 years. So maybe let's just say an even like 30 years.
Yeah, like 30 years older. It's let's say she's like 50, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that about Ahsoka too, because I remember we were having this conversation during season 1 podcast.
I feel like, yeah, she would be. I think she was like, I don't know how old she was.
I think she was like in her 30s during Rebels.
Right, and Rebels took place between 3 and 4, so
right.
Yeah, so maybe she'll be like 36 or so. 37?
I think she might be over.
Speaking of Ahsoka,
Oh man. Speaking
bro.
Of
bro.
When oh man.
So I didn't think she was gonna drop the name. I knew.
Yeah, I dropped the name.
I knew that she was going to say, "Yeah, I know where to find a Jedi," and I did not think she was ever gonna drop a name. And it was like, oh yeah, here's this. Yeah, I didn't think she was ever going to drop a name. I thought it was going to just be like, she's already confirmed that she's in it, but at the same time, you want that little shock factor when she comes out of the shadows and you see that it's Ahsoka Tano. But when she was like, when Bo-Katan was like, bro, like, I can show you where Ahsoka Tano is, and I was like, wait, Ahsoka who? You just straight up said the name. All right, cool. Like, I didn't think they were going to do that. I
predicted that this would happen.
You did?
I predicted. I didn't say it to you, but in my mind, I was like, you know what? This is probably going to happen. I predicted that eventually he would meet up with Bo-Katan and her little group, and eventually, through Bo-Katan, you would find Ahsoka. I didn't really think much of what they would do with Mando. Of course, we haven't seen much that they've only done in episode 1. So, they haven't done much. I don't know what they're going to do. Because, remember, Luke Skywalker is still a thing. So,
right.
You think they might name drop Luke Skywalker?
Maybe. I don't know. I do want to put in, though, that during, our
early 20s.
Perhaps. But I do want to point out that by the last Mandalorian episode that we had, the bonus episode to season 1, I pointed out that Mando was going to go try to find, its kind, and I did say, I'm trying to say it word for word, but I said that most people would think, oh, he's going to try to find where Yoda and its species originate from, but what got to me in my head was Jedi. And I had a feeling.
Jedi, right?
Yes, I had his kind. You know what I mean? So a lot of people would say, "Oh, his species are going to find wherever his home world is." But in my mind, and I think in a lot of other people's minds as well, it was that it's it's religion basically.
Disney is not about to release what Yoda is yet.
Oh man. But
They're not about to release the species name of Yoda because they don't have a name.
they really don't.
That's
But like my
George Lucas's vault.
my but I went on to say that whatever I didn't predict Bo-Katan at all, but I did say I feel like the Mandalorian or Mando or whoever you want to call him will find either Luke or Ahsoka. Most likely Ahsoka, because I don't think they're going to cast anyone. Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
At that time they probably didn't.
Oh yeah, at the time they didn't confirm it at all. Afterwards they did, and I was really excited for that. But what I'm saying is I predicted that he was going to find either Ahsoka or he's going to find Luke, and then you said that he was going to be one of the younglings that freaking Kylo killed.
What?
You remember that? You don't remember that when I mentioned that he could be like Luke's apprentice? Or one of them, and then remember Kylo killed them all?
Oh,
you remember saying that? And you were like, bro, he's gonna be that burning temple.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cute.
Yeah, another barbecue. Oh man, but yeah, and I'm kind of glad that he did go to Luke because we all know how that ends. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next episode. I really am.
But let's talk about this real quick, because me and you freaked out. Who was that hooded girl in the Bay Area?
I don't know.
Not the Bay
I feel like we should have known.
Area.
I feel like
should have known.
Wasn't that Bo-Katan or was that someone else?
Nah, that wasn't her. That was someone else. She had a black hood on, dude. Where the heck did Bo-Katan even come from? They just flew out of nowhere when he was trapped on that fishing ship.
Yeah.
With space fish. So we've encountered space worms, space buffalo, space seaweed, space weed, and space fish. Solid. But yeah. They just flew out of nowhere, so that's solid. Pretty cool. But that girl with the hood, you said maybe Sith. But
yeah, it said Sith Lord.
It's not a bad idea because and then I got to thinking, wait, when was Jedi Fallen Order? Because that's canon now. And you said it was in between, and I said it too, that it was right after the events of Order 66. Because remember that first scene during the game, you saw them taking apart all of the old Star Destroyers, or that's not what they called them, but that's what they're called now, Empire era and everything. But yeah, I don't know. We were contemplating the thought of there being more, what are they called? Inhibitors?
Oh, Inquisitors.
Inquisitors, yeah. We were contemplating the thought of more Inquisitors surviving, but I don't know. I mean, it would be cool if that was some kind of Sith, but I don't know who the heck it would be. It would have to be someone totally new. And I think I also told you about I was trying to figure out hold on, give me a second. Pre Vizsla. Okay, I just remembered his name. You remember Pre Vizsla?
Yeah.
Who was basically at the top, the leader of Death Watch, or actually, that confuses me now, because if they were part of Death Watch, Bo-Katan and them, because that's what they said in the show, that they were Death Watch. But then, maybe, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think she betrayed Pre Vizsla, or acted as a double agent kind of thing, and ended up betraying him somehow, just so she could take out the leader of Death Watch. I don't really remember. I think, yeah, since her sister, Satine, was the leader or the queen of Mandalore, and she wanted to be all passive aggressive and everything, she felt like, Bo-Katan felt like, this isn't really the way, quote unquote. So I'll go join Death Watch, a bunch of terrorists. And I'm like thinking now that we're getting on this, I'm thinking, now that we heard her call Mandalorians or Mando's people the Watch, and she said that they were based upon the old ways of Mandalore. It makes me wonder if she really was a part of Death Watch or what exactly that was. That confuses me. But anyways, back to the pre-Vizsla thing. I think I had told you that um, his pre-Vizsla's like grandfather or great grandfather, I think, made the dark saber, because they mentioned it again in this episode. Because if you remember during the end, Bo-Katan was wondering about where the whereabouts of the dark saber was, and the captain of that ship or whatever was like, "You'll never get it," and then he like suicided himself.
Right.
I guess with like like old Russian era, like not Russian era, old like Cold War type crap where they hide a pill in one of their teeth or something.
Oh yeah, I like it's usually like a cyanide pill. And
Yeah,
it was like an electric
Captain
shock.
America.
It was like
Yeah.
it was like an electric shock thing. Like, dude, that's a little much. I mean, like, I don't know how
That is a
cyanide
little
feels,
much,
but like, that's a
Dude,
little.
that's
a little too
literally
much.
some like Cold War type crap.
It really is. So that. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, like, they referenced it again, so I'm hoping. And she said it's like somehow the key to restoring peace on Mandalore. Which I think it would be cool in an episode if we actually get to go to Mandalore, because she said that basically, I think the Emperor made it so that he couldn't control Mandalore, so he made it so that no one could. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering what she meant by that.
It was more like, they couldn't control like the people on Mandalore, so I guess they just like slaughtered them. You know what I mean?
Huh.
They couldn't comply.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Blew up the planet.
I don't think he blew it
What's
up.
your theory?
Um,
About to come out with a
No,
theory.
I don't have a theory, but I do have two. Well, actually, I have one theory, but it was not a self-made theory. It was something I just saw. So, according to my sources, that one woman was Sasha Banks, and she was rumored to play Ahsoka Tano. Now,
Ooh. Okay.
the one woman with the hood. Now,
Yeah.
yeah. So she was rumored to play Ahsoka Tano, but clearly she's not Ahsoka Tano. Because because well, yeah, that's the thing is, she's completely human in this and all that. One of the theories is that she's Sabine Wren from Rebels.
Sabine.
Yeah. So they put it side by side, and it kind of makes sense. If she has like purple hair or whatever, or maybe even like dark hair, then she could be. You can't really see her hair in this shot here, but the skin tone and all that, how the way the eyes look, it kind of looks like it can be Sabine Wren.
We didn't see her hair though, because Sabine has silver hair.
No, she has purple hair. Sabine?
Really? Wait. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a dark purple in the movie or in the live action show then.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a darker
didn't get a look
purple.
at her. Yeah, I didn't get a look at her hair, so.
Yeah. So, it looks like that could be one of the possibilities of who she is.
Right.
And maybe she was also
That would
looking for
be
Mandalorians.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty solid, if that were true. But I don't know. Maybe it is. It's just a rumor, though, right? Or is she actually?
Oh, it's just a rumor. It's not really a rumor. It's more of a theory.
It's a theory. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that would be pretty solid still. Well, what was your favorite part in the episode?
Oh man.
There's too many to name.
I'd say wait, she dropped the name Ahsoka Tano. Because, like I said, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I know. I don't know. That might have to be my favorite too, but I'm not gonna say that because you already did. I think mine is probably when it's probably when we first got to see Bo-Katan and her group. Like they just came in to save Mando from like drowning. Basically,
That was also a really good one.
It was really good. And she took off her helmet. And she's like, "Oh, it's freaking Bo-Katan." Okay, but of course we already saw that because she was talking, and we had subtitles on it. And it said Bo-Katan, and I'm like, "Okay, that's pretty solid." Yeah, but I'd have to see more of her. I'm still not dead set on if she's like a good Bo-Katan or not.
Yeah, I mean, if this is honestly, if this is like the only like appearance that she makes, like for this whole episode, I'm fine with that.
Oh, you mean the whole series?
The whole episode.
The only.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they bring her back in the future. I don't know, but you know, I still wouldn't complain too much. This is the only thing we see.
This episode is the only appearance that she makes in the whole series. You would be okay with that?
Yeah, I would be. I know you said something like you wouldn't be, but like I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I think that's is that all we have?
I think that's all we have.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Next week we'll be covering, if it does come out on Friday, which it should. Next week on Saturday morning we will put out another one of these talking about episode 4 of The Mandalorian. And you know, I hope everyone has a good day, good week. I hope The Mandalorian is well. I hope we don't get another episode 2 out of it. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We also stream on Twitch time to time. You can follow Jordan at Hotpocket. Sorry, not Hotpocket. Twitch.tv/Hotpocket61. You can follow me at twitch.tv/ApolloYourKing. I've recently been streaming the campaign to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. For any of the past streams that you may or may not have missed, it's already up on YouTube. All of them are in order as to compared to time posted, basically. So I will have to say the second stream was kind of awkward because I didn't have my my mic on to my stream, and I did join a party with good old Chris. And the only thing you heard was the game volume and Chris. You didn't hear me talking to Chris. All you heard was Chris. Once I realized I didn't have any mic channels set up, I opened up the mic and I was like, oh, I wasn't talking this entire time. I was doing it for like an hour, 12 minutes. I'm like, this is professional. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but still, you can still experience the campaign if you don't want to like play the campaign. Or just don't have the money to buy it. You experience it through there. But yeah, I have no set schedule. It's more like a random basis. But, if you subscribe to the channel, and with Jordan's as well, you'll get a notification each time that we go live. You could also follow our Twitter account at Corp127. We will put out different updates up there. And that's basically all our social media as of right now. So yeah, thank you for supporting us.
Thanks, guys.